With Darius, Justin was saying how smart he is.
Yeah.
I'm assuming at this point when you're dealing with rookies, that's one of the first things you're going to notice is how quickly they can pick things up.
Yeah. I mean, from a mental mistake, because it's new scheme, new system that they're in. They haven't been time on the job as long as some other guys. You typically see some mental mistakes. And he's doing a really good job of where he needs to get aligned, what's he doing with each call, and then moving around a couple different positions. He's doing a good job handling that. So it jumps out. He's a guy that's, and he's made some mistakes, but he's not struggling with the playbook.
You said with Marv, you kind of had to maybe bring him back with all the extra reps he's getting. Darius kind of revealed an unbelievable process on draft night. Is he somebody that you also have to kind of monitor away from the
Yeah,
facility?
I think all these guys, they're high quality, high character guys that are trying to maximize their game, right? So when I was talking with Marv and all our rookies, they have a pre-practice deal that they go through, a post-practice deal that they go through. So to me, that's some extra work. They just got to be smart about not doing too much. That's all. But I love the extra work. They just got to be smart about it.
Now that you're 9 OTs in, or about to be 9 OTs in, how different at this point is it with Kyler back than it was a year ago?
Well, I think we're operating a little better right now. I think, and that's from being year 2 in the system and having him out there. You know what I mean? So. What Drew has installed and the things that we're talking about and teaching, you're seeing it show up a little more on par with what we want and expect. And I just think from an overall operation as an offense, it looks good.
I'm sure that continuity, stability, and familiarity are important for all players, but how important is it to a quarterback to have those
I
things?
think big. You know what I mean? It's the second time, third time, however many times. Probably the 100th time that he's heard a lot of this stuff. But I think where you really get into, like, say, do you know or do you know? From the quarterback perspective, like when Drew calls a play, not everything that he has to handle before the ball snapped and after the ball snapped, like the reasons why. Why is he calling that? And he's really the guy that makes it go. You know what I mean? So if he understands the why behind everything that we're doing, I just think it makes us operate a little more efficiently.
Is it just as important from a comfort and confidence standpoint too for him?
You could ask him. Yeah, I would think it is.
What do you think a Kyler Harrison connection can and should look like?
We got a lot of time for that to unveil.
Have you thought about how fun that's going to be to watch?
No, I'm thinking about today, right now, Bob. If they get aligned right, do their job right, all that stuff. But I was joking around with those guys yesterday. The name of the game is scoring points. That's who can score points. So I think he's a guy that can do that.
Have you seen any growth from both Clayton and Desmond in this new
Absolutely,
system?
yeah. I've seen growth from everybody on this team right now. Yeah, they're both doing a good job. They're each guy does things a little bit differently, looks a little bit different for each of them. Each of them do things extremely well, and each of them do things that they need to improve on too. So they're working on their games.
Coach, this is OTA number 9. Is the energy level still up from the guys?
Yeah, it was up yesterday. I know that. It's team meeting was these guys. We got good guys, So we were intentional about how we're, bringing people in here. And like I said before, we got a lot of good guys coming back. We onboarded a lot of good guys, free agents, the rookie class. It's not work to them. They love being here. They love being in the building, and they love improving their game. So I very rarely have to pull teeth to get them to go.
Top to bottom, how do you feel the retention's been?
It's actually the other way. I normally got to pull teeth to get them to back off a little bit. Pretty good. I think being in the second year, but again, though, you guys know, that's just not like lip service to you guys. We changed some things, but the retention has been good. You know what I mean? And then the little details that sometimes, coaches even miss at times, what's kind of, if you're just watching the game, you might not see it. the little details I think we're doing a better job of to make the play really go, or to those little details that have you win your one-on-one. Everything matters, and I think that's kind of accelerated as well.
When you say you've changed some things, Coach, are you talking schematically on offense defense or just the way you guys go about practice?
Everything. Yeah, everything. You know, you try to make everything a little bit better. You know what I mean? So, yeah, all three phases had to, Jeff, a whole new play. So obviously we've changed with that. And Drew and Nick have done a good job of tweaking certain things, calling those certain things. I like to, a form of learning to me is when someone gives me something, it's like poke holes in it, Why is it like this? Why is it like that? Why is the verbiage like that? Doesn't it make more sense to say this and that? And it's cool, the conversation, when you start doing that, because everyone thinks a little bit differently. But hopefully you get it right as you can for the players so they can quickly process it, make sense of it, and execute it.
I know Jeff at one point was talking about how they changed the kickoff rule, and obviously there's more that has to be taught right now. But it's not like the CBA, they came back with a new CBA and added that time into what you get right now. So what were the discussions like in terms of changing up so he's got enough time to do what he needs to do without taking too much away from the other parts?
Yeah, well, you could ask him. I think we have a really good relationship as far as, because we're aligned with, I think that phase is very important. And I know there's not as many plays of offense and defense as the kicking game on fourth down, but those are impact plays, and I think we have players that should be an advantage for us. So from an explosive standpoint, from the ball disruption takeaway standpoint, momentum, if you believe in momentum, from a momentum standpoint, from playing penalty free and being smarter than the other team, out executing the other team. So we spend a lot of time on task with that phase.
There's a lot of external optimism at this point around this club. Just with how Monty structured went about the draft, how you guys set the foundation, I know you're not doing high fives in the offices or anything, but do you concern yourself with such things? Do you feel that at all?
No high fives. No, I'm concerned with, when I get out of here, what goes on that field right now. No, I've never really, listened to outside noise. Our guys know the standard and expectation of right now, today, and then going into training camp and then the season. That won't change. We always keep that in-house, but I don't really let other people's opinions affect how we think and how we do things. So you just kind of keep it right in our lane and go.
Regarding Evan Brown, you've said a lot of things about two-position player.
Yeah.
But right now he's a guard. I'm assuming that's left stays on the right, but have you given any thought about?
Yeah, I mean, no, but Evan can play right, because if Will busts his toe, he's, we need a right guard. You know what I mean? So it's a good question, Bob. They know that those interior guys, you got to be able to play right and left, and the certain guys that can snap, that makes them valuable too. So Evan's done a really good job. Like I said, his football character is awesome. He's a guy that loves to practice, loves to train. He's extremely intelligent, and he's a powerful cat. He can apply force into the ground and into his opponent. So that's been cool to see. He's doing a good job.
The talent on offense, like with the passing attack, Kyler going into second year, Marv, Trey, when you have these young corners, is this a really tough period for them? And how are they competing? How are they communicating?
Yeah, I would say each week there's going to be, it's the best of the best. So they're playing who they're going to play. Obviously everyone's a little bit different, but each team that we play are going to have a bunch of good pass catchers out there. So it's good experience for those guys, and we have some weapons. And with Dortch is doing an excellent job in the slot. I was just talking about with those guys yesterday, the matchup between him and Garrett is a good matchup right now. You know what I mean? On third down, when the ball goes to him, Dortch makes some plays, Garrett makes some plays. So that's cool. There's competition with those guys, to do their job at a high level. But you start to see some matchups kind of, get going as you going in OTAs and training camp, and it's fun. But the more good players you have, the better off you are.
With Garrett and BJ, what big jump is there from last year to this year where they weren't even really doing anything at this time of the year.
Yeah, huge. It's kind of like Kyler. You know what I mean? It's now they get to get into the details and get more reps and win some one-on-ones, lose some one-on-ones, learn from it, get in the huddle with different guys. Just time on task, man. Just line up and play ball. That helps guys. So. Each guy had a little bit different what we thought coming out of last season, what they needed to work on to improve, and their roles, what those could look like, and what we're still competing for right now. But both of those guys have taken a good jump here.
In what ways does Michael Wilson look different now than how he looked when the season ended?
I would say he's probably tired at the end of the year. He looks very explosive to me. The intricate details of what Drew Terrell's coaching him. He does some things extremely well that Drew Petzing likes to highlight, which is cool. And I won't get too much into it, but Drew called a play yesterday. He thought Mike was going to be aligned at Z, and Marvin was out of there, and Zay was in, so he was lined at X. And he called the play on a gotta have it for Mike. Looks up, Mike's not out there, and Mike's in another position. Kyler goes through his progression, the ball finds Mike in a different position because he won on the route. And it was like, oh, that's not why he even called it, but that was cool to see, you know what I mean? So Mike is a three-position guy. Like I say, he looks fast and explosive, and he's doing some little things that are pretty cool that make him a tough cover.
Beyond the football side of having Kyler back, how different is the vibe in the atmosphere for these guys knowing that their starting quarterback is on the field? And just in the meetings and all that stuff.
I think it's cool because they know the type of player he is. But, honestly, for the team right now, I think they're more worried about, working on their game and improving their game. And there is some chemistry going on right now, and the team's getting built, and they're getting tighter day by day. But that really, to me, doesn't happen until kind of training camp goes on. They're more concerned about, I got 25 plays today. I want to go out and execute at a high level, so make sure I improve from yesterday to today. So that's kind of what I'd say to that.
You talked a lot about your relationship with Kyler.
Yeah.
What's your general thoughts on the dynamic of that head coach-quarterback relationship, especially when the head coach is not the play caller?
My first time, Howard. It's my first time. So the only dynamic I know is the one that we have right now. So now I've asked a lot of guys that I trust and that were either A, defensive guy, or B, an offensive guy, and what that looks like. But I think what comes out of those conversations is you got to be yourself, and what you hold important to yourself and the team, he's got to know. And I think the communication between us has accelerated our understanding of what we're both trying to get done, what the team's trying to get done, and it's been pretty cool. I joke about, I said my best friend. He's not my best friend, but we have a good common ground of what everybody in this building is trying to get done.
It looked like last year you and Kyler spent a lot of time at practice. He wasn't practicing.
Yeah.
A lot of time talking in OTAs, training camp. Did that help?
Yeah, that was probably me picking his brain, honestly. You know what I mean? More of that. But yeah, even when he's all three quarterbacks, when they come off, I say, I'll talk to him a little bit. What'd you see here? Did you see that coverage, this and that? A lot of times what's cool, because I'm the fortunate guy out there to have offense and defense on my page. I'll say, hey, Clayton, they're playing, double-double here. Where's the ball got to go? Double-double's in? Yeah, it's in. And he goes, well, the ball, double-double should go there. And and then Dez puts it there. It's like, oh, good read, Dez. You know what I mean? I don't even know if Dez knew it was double-double, but the ball went where it should. That's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So I'll quiz him a little bit. Hey, you got this right now. Where should the ball go? But from my standpoint, I've always been like this. From a defensive standpoint, the first guy I ask is a quarterback, because the game's played through the quarterback. So I always want to know, as a defensive guy, what's in his mind, what's he thinking, is this hard, is this not hard? There's a few coverages that Nick had in that Kyler thought were pretty good, but if that guy doesn't play it right, I'm going here with the ball. So it's just trying to learn and get better.
When you get all the veterans together, is there a conversation you want to have or to be had with guys that are going into contract years, just a little maybe extra you want to say?
Yeah, we're in conversation with all our guys all the time. Monty handles a lot of that with those guys. But I'm in lockstep with Monty, what we're doing, and if they want to come talk to me about that, we have good conversations about the why behind what's going on. I think that the best way to handle those things is be honest, and they appreciate that. So those have been pretty cool.
Is it too soon to test out anyone besides Kaiser to call the defense right now?
We've been doing it. Yeah, we've been doing it. No, it's not too soon. I mean, we probably have 4 guys call it right now, 4 or 5 guys call it. I like different guys to call it. They got to get used to it, No, we got guys doing it.
Did you know, or did you have an idea of what you wanted your relationship with Kyler to look like when you first got here? Or
No,
did you want-
because I didn't know him. So, and then when I got to know him a little bit, then I think all relationships got to know yourself, and then you got to know the other person, and then you got to communicate and be honest. So I think after we kind of learned about each other a little bit, then that kind of took off.